Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition. Sean Kelly into the night. How is everybody doing today? I'm on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. I want to thank Carnation for sponsoring tonight's show. It's going to be a good one. I got a great guest coming on. He talked about he sent me a message about some haunted farm, okay, that he runs, okay, that he works for the people. It's called Dudas Farm here in Brownsville, Pennsylvania. Hello, Ashley. Good to see you. Um, and, I was thinking about it, having him on a guest, but I was going to wait a couple weeks down the road. But unfortunately, the person I had scheduled to come on, hi Shannon, good to see you. And person I was supposed to have on the show kind of like quit, couldn't make it, didn't get no response back from him. So hey Cindy Simpson, good to see you. And so I asked him to come on tonight. Carla, great to see you. Bobby White, great to see you. So I'm going to read the gentleman's bio here, and it's like really, really interesting. I'm definitely excited to hear what he has to say. Roy White is a part owner, master builder at the Dudas Haunted Farm in Brownsville, Pennsylvania. Have been in the haunted attraction business for over 20 years and also built another attraction that's very successful in Western Pennsylvania. But I always wanted to have my own attraction. That's where the partnership came about with Dudas Farm. Now I have been creating my own nightmares for people to enjoy for the last 2 years. I can't say enough good things about Mark and Andrew Duda. They have backed me 100% with all my crazy visions and ideas. Always pushed myself harder and harder to bring the most realism out of each scene. Tony, good to see you. Jonathan, good to see you. Bobby White, Leah, glad to see you. And without further ado, my guest tonight is Roy White. Hello, Roy. Good to see you,
Hey,
buddy.
how's everybody doing?
Hey, good to see you. Good morning, Michael.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, how's life treating you, Roy? I mean, what's going on down there in Brownsville, PA?
Life has been treating me good. Extremely busy. Actually, this year I pushed my deadline a couple months forward, and we're doing an event in July. So it's been pretty crazy.
What kind of event?
What we're gonna do in July is going to be called Bloodfest. Every other haunted attraction tries to use Christmas. They use Valentine's Day. They use St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to go different, so we created our own event, Bloodfest, July 13th and 27th.
And you're doing the whole project yourself, right?
Yes, mostly all by myself. Yes. I do have some very creative people with me that have been with me for over the years. They're actually watching the show now. I've watched them grow up and turned into what they've turned into, and it's been great. They all came back to work with me now.
So where do you come up with all these ideas to do something haunted?
Oh man, it's been like since childhood, man. I grew up in South Philly, and no matter how bad it was down there, Halloween time was Halloween time. It was done at dark the way it should be. People watched their children, and we had a great time from door to door. I mean, we used to bring home pillow sacks full of candy, but most people had a haunted house in their house. They would turn it into it, and it was just really a giant impression on my life. And I've always wanted to go forward with it.
Are there? I mean, I remember because there were neighbors around my house that would do the same thing. They would make like a little haunted house on their porch or something like that, and I thought it was pretty cool. Now, see, back then that was like in the 70s and 70s, 60s, 70s, and Halloween was fun back then.
Oh yes, yes.
I mean,
I always tell everybody, bring Halloween the way it should be. No matter how bad it is, you watch your children, you let them experience Halloween at night.
Yes, I know, but you know what? I can see where some parts of the city, like here in Pittsburgh, I do believe in the city, they have those Halloween trunk trick or treats where everyone brings their cars
Yeah.
time and open up, which I don't blame them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
actually, at last year at the farm, the owners they've been doing a pumpkin patch for their family, and everybody to come and enjoy too during the day for probably over 20 years. And
Right.
last year we came up with the idea at the last of the season of the pumpkin picking. We also did a haunted daytime thing for the kids and did trick or treating on the hayride, which was really really a cool experience.
Now, you what do you prefer? Like you said, you did another attraction here in Western Pennsylvania. Are you allowed to mention that?
I choose not to.
You choose not to? Okay.
Yes.
And then you know what? That's okay. But how did it go by meeting the Dudas, in the
Actually,
farm?
going by
How did that
meeting
go?
the Dudas was it was pretty crazy. I have an inflatable rental business. I have a mechanical bull. I only live about 10 minutes from Dudas Farm. I've been here for the last 20 years. And so his wife called me and wanted the mechanical bull at their son's graduation party. She's like me. She wants everything for the best deal. And so we kind of went back and forth, and she got a really good deal. And before I left that day, I told my wife, I said, I will have the best deal at the end. I said, I'm going to have this farm to do what I want to do on it. And I met Mark and Andrew Duda, and I explained to them who I was and what I wanted to do. And took them about 2 weeks. This is the end of July now of the first year that we started. And they called me back and they said, hey, listen, let's go forward. Let's do this. I was like, okay, well, we plan it for, 2022. And they were like, no, we want to do this now. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wow. Okay.
So we had pretty much about a month and a half to set up a 4-acre corn maze. It went over extremely well. It really did. We put it all together. We did all of us did some crazy hours, and we got it together. And last year we had a lot more time. I would like to mention that we made the best maze in the country last year by
Did you?
scarefactor.com.
Okay.
So it was very exciting. Last year we also brought into the hayride. You know what I mean? We brought the hayride around, and that's going very well. And that's what it will be at Bloodfest. It will just be the hayride, of course, because the corn won't be tall enough yet at that time.
Right. And why a corn maze? Was it their idea? Was that your idea? Or did they say we want a corn maze?
Well,
And
so just so being Mark Duda always did a daytime corn maze for the children to walk through. And I was like, hey, let's just use that corn maze and turn it into a nighttime one. You know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, let's do this.
okay.
So I've been in the business for over 20 years. I've been in the back, the front, every side of the business. I've always watched people come and go. That maze, that corn maze, blew my mind how many people walked out of there. They wanted nothing to do with it. That really impressed me. I'd never seen that much in the haunt industry, where people would just 5 feet in there, like, you know what? We don't care about our money. We want out of here. You know what I mean?
I'll be the
Which I
first one
kind of
to
understand. Corn has always been a big fear for me. Since I've watched Children of the Corn since I was a kid, I have not liked cornfields.
Right.
Not at all. You know what I mean? And this is, how the story basically starts with you. My fear with cornfields, and, me working out there at night in the middle of the night and everything. And, I try to brush everything off like, no big deal. You know what I mean? You always try to do that. But I would say within the first week of me working in that cornfield, the first year, I had a ladder set up at basically a giant wishing well. I was probably there about 2:00 in the morning, running lighting. Lighting, that's the only time you can do it, is at night. You know what I mean? There's just no way you can do it any other time. So when I got done with doing that, I left my ladder sit right there. My son was with me. We left. And I come back the next day and my ladder is not there, So I go to the owners of the farm. Now, this is kind of new. We barely even know each other yet. Our relationship's less than 2 months old, And I said, listen, did one of your workers take my ladder out of the field? He said, no, why would someone do that? I said, I don't know. I said, I just thought maybe, someone picked the ladder out of the field. I don't know. So he goes, no. So a week later, he goes, hey, did you ever find that ladder? I said, no, man, I did not find that ladder yet. He goes, you're part of it. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just not doing this. You know what I mean? So probably about a week after that, we were running some electricity, and my son come across the ladder. It was probably about 50 yards through a maze of paths away, and it was still set up an A-frame sitting inside the corn.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was,
that would be creepy. Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? This is real, you know what I mean? And then I would say maybe a week later, there was me, my son, and a good friend of mine. We were also down there late at night running wiring, and I had my speaker sitting on top of my truck, Bluetooth speaker, listening to music out through the field. Out of the blue, thing says I'm powering off. That's what the speaker, said. I'm powering down, and the speaker will shut off. So the speaker shut off. I said, battery's dead. No big deal. So we continue to work. Probably about a half hour later, speaker says powering on.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to playing music again, like nothing would ever happen.
Now, at this time, a lot of people who are listening to my show tonight will say, could it have been some type of electric problem, something in the wiring?
Well, actually, the speaker's just, it's battery operated. You know what I mean? It's a charged speaker. You know what I mean? Because that's why I thought the battery was dead on it.
Well, for a fact that spirits, they absorb the energy like that.
Right. I mean? Yes.
And,
yes. I have more stories about, so when I was trying to run wire through this cornfield, I was trying to figure out a creative way to run wire through a cornfield. Very impossible. So what I came up with was using a piece of kite string, my drone, and I would run the string from section to section to be able to pull the wire through the corn. I've used my drone for years. I've never had a problem with my drone. Mm-hmm. I go to leave the field with my drone, set it on the ground, about in the dead middle of the field. I fire it up. I start to lift off the ground with the drone. And the drone, if I didn't have a hold of the string, the drone would have been gone. I mean, it just acted crazy, shot to the right, and was just, it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. I had to grab the drone physically and flip it upside down. That's how you shut drones down. Okay. And I actually got it shut down. But I mean, if I wouldn't have had the string on it, who knows where it would have been? You know what I mean?
We were talking about, on through Messenger the other day. Hey, Kaysen, good to see you, buddy. You said that some of the people that worked with you actually saw something that wasn't there. Would you like to share that story?
Oh, yes. Quite a few actors. Ashley's one of them that's actually watching the show tonight. She's the one that actually sees a lot of things. Ashley has a sense for this stuff, I believe, Okay. She says she sees people all the time. Okay. They were just there the other day after we've talked. They were in there broad daylight inside a greenhouse, 2 doors, one on each end. And they were cleaning up that's where we keep most of our stuff in one of these greenhouses. And out of the blue, the back door swung completely wide open. Mm-hmm. And she said, "Hello, Mr. Moho." Mr. Moho is the guy that owned the farm years before the Dudas owned the farm.
Oh.
So okay. The door opened and closed, and she just went about her things. But not only has she talked about Mr. Moho, Andrew Duda has also talked about Mr. Moho. Mark Duda has also talked about Mr. Moho. The guy that owned the property before actually had a mine on the property where he was digging on his own coal. Okay. So I actually took and built a mine shaft where you walk inside, and it's actually called Moho Mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So pretty neat. Another time, a good friend of mine, he is the chainsaw guy there. We all call him Piggy. And
Piggy. Okay.
He tells me a story. Now, he's a very backwards, quiet guy. He's very truthful. There's just no bull crap about him. And out of the blue, he tells me that he was chasing somebody down through the cornfield that completely just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and he's like not really into all this, and he was like, that shocked me, dude.
he was chasing somebody that wasn't there.
He just disappeared. You know what I mean?
How about you? Have you seen any apparitions or anything?
I haven't seen anything personally besides, the ladder moving or the speaker or, my drone. I haven't seen any silhouettes or anything yet. About 2 weeks ago, Mark Duda sent me a message asking me if I was over at the farm working on anything. And I said, no, I'm not over. I didn't go over there. and we have a bar set up inside the cornfield. Now this is probably about 2 acres into a cornfield that no one would be at. Everything was unplugged, as it was unplugged for the season. And Mark sends me a video of the bar completely up and running. The lights are going, the stereo's going, all the mannequins are going. Somebody was just having a good time.
What do you mean about the mannequins were going? Were they moving?
Well, I have animatronics in there, and they were running too. I mean, everything was plugged in and just running like it was regular business night.
Holy crap, man! That would be like really cool to see.
Yeah, I still think Mark probably thinks I was a part of that, but I definitely was not.
Is there any questions from anybody in the chat rooms that would like to talk to Roy? Ask him a question about the haunted. I call it the haunted farm. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely the haunted farm.
Okay, so it's not just into where the cornfield is, but is it like all through the?
Oh, it's through the whole farm. It's through the whole property.
It's through the whole property.
Yeah. People have seen things through the whole property.
Have you done any research on the property that was there?
No, I have not.
Have Mark or Andrew do any research on that?
No, not as far as if there's any burial grounds or anything like that. I did talk to Mark the other night after I talked to you, and he did say that there was some Indian burial grounds with less than a mile away from the farm that he knows of for sure.
Okay, now Kaysen just said, my buddy from Sri Lanka, he says, is it on a Native American burial ground? It's not on it, Kaysen. It's like a couple miles away, from the farm itself. But, even though it's not exactly on the farm is on the burial ground, it's pretty close. So all that energy, you know what I mean, coming from your wires, coming from the farm, it's just like, it seems like that the spirits there really enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I definitely lived them up, man. You know what I mean?
And,
I think I did.
So these ideas that you come up with, I'm just more fascinated about the paranormal activity that happens down there.
Right.
Because ever since we chatted, it got my mind going. You know what I mean? I saw some of the pictures of the cornfield, and I mean, that's pretty crazy. It looks like a freaking UFO, when the spaceships come down and they make their
right
crop circles. And
yeah.
What goes into making a maze? Do they grow the corn and they cut it down from there? So
what we do is we start about July 4th or July 5th. We Mark will plant the corn. I may be planting it this year. I actually learned how to drive a tractor this year and stuff. I'm a city boy and just learning all this farming now. Definitely have a respect for farmers to no end. No one works as hard as a farmer does. They just don't. No, they do not. You know what I mean?
So my friend Kaysen said, and this is a good question for you, is there a running water source close to the field or close to the farm?
There's a creek. Maybe I'd say 50 yards to the left of the left of the field. Pretty much that's all I know. I mean, now on the backside of the field there also is a giant hillside, so you got water running off that hillside constantly. You know what I mean?
Okay. So yeah, because also water is like a conduit for spirits.
Okay.
They're just like really attracted to water. It's just like you got the perfect place for the perfect content down there.
Yeah, I mean, it just so happens that this all worked out perfectly, and what's happening now with the spirits and everything is just blowing my mind. You know what I mean? Like I said, I worked at other farms building haunted houses, and I've never had these experiences that I'm having now.
Okay. And so what actually, now these other haunted houses that you built, okay, did you have any other paranormal experiences at the places that you were building other haunted houses?
Not that I can recall of any.
No?
No.
No. Oh wow.
No, and I mean, the other one I worked for, that they were half was in the woods, and I was in the woods at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, all by myself. Never felt uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Never felt like anybody was watching me. You put me in this cornfield, and I feel like somebody's watching me all the time.
Wow. That'd be creepy. Now, Kaysen, honest to God, and he wants to know if there was any ley line crossings. Do you know? You know what
Any
ley
what?
line? Ley lines. No, we don't know, Kaysen. Maybe
No.
somebody in the chat room would know what the ley line is around that area, and no, so we don't know nothing about it. But I'm sure if there could be, Kaysen. I mean, there's just, I mean that if you look at the property, if you go on and Google Duda's farm, okay, you'll see pictures, and my God, it's huge, dude. And you can kind of like get a feel for all the paranormal activity that could be there. You know what I mean? And not just spirits, buddy. I need to tell you this. Um, what is that? Westmoreland County down there? What is that? Green, Washington?
The closest would be Greene County or Washington
Okay.
County.
Okay. Now here's the deal. All right. Now on this show, and I know a lot of people out there who listen to my show, Bigfoot. You ever heard of Bigfoot?
Oh yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
have you ever heard of like knockings on a tree? Have you heard any type of sounds coming from the woods that you do not know what was there?
Oh, I've heard plenty. I mean, do I always just brush them off? Yeah, pretty much. I always just brush them off. I got a job to do, and if I focused on that, I'm definitely not getting the job done.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but knowing that you're out there 2 o'clock in the morning and you hear some creature yelling and screaming and hitting trees with wood, with
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
definitely things you hear will definitely raise the hair on your back of your neck. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like you said, you're out there by yourself. Usually at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, nothing's moving. You know what I mean? It's just dead silence. It's just dead silence. And when you do hear something move, you're like, what is that? You know what I mean?
I'm sure they got bear down there, and I'm sure they got all kinds of
Oh
animals
yeah,
down
there's bear,
there.
there's coyote, there's deer. I mean, there's tons of deer.
Now,
Yeah.
with it being down on the farm, I'm sure you can see all the stars up in the sky. Is that
Oh,
correct?
it's unbelievable. Matter of fact, last year, me and a couple of my friends, we were setting up a projector, and I did like a drive-in movie scene for Hayride. And you're up on top of this field. I mean, like you said, you see all the stars and everything. We were blown away. We thought we seen a UFO, but here, unfortunately, it was Elon Musk's Starlink.
How do you know?
Um, we've seen it several times after that. You know what I
You know,
mean? Oh, I
uh,
mean, you never do know. I mean, you have no idea. It was pretty wild, though. I mean, it caught us off guard, and it was very unique. It definitely was.
so you saw Starlink, but have you? I mean, there is so much in the paranormal field, and when we say paranormal, we're not just
Lots of
talking
shooting
just
stars too.
a lot of shooting stars. You got
Oh
to
yeah,
make a lot of
lots of shooting
wishes,
stars.
a lot of wishes there. But
Yeah.
but how do you know they're not something else?
Oh, you don't. Yeah,
That's
you have
right.
no idea. I mean, you
Look,
you, you know you think what something is, you just don't know. You know.
um, so Kaysen says, sorry for the 20 questions.
Oh, he's good.
Uh,
Tell Casey, no problem.
hey, Carrie Lynn, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Little major update on the show. I got my friend Roy White here, and he is in charge of the Duda Haunted Farm. And what I mean by that is that he actually builds a haunted corn maze for the farm. And we were just going over some of the stuff about how do you do it? How do you start off? You got your 4 acres of field, right? Who who goes in and makes the maze?
Mark
That's what.
actually, what we do is me and Mark will take a couple aerial shots with my drone, and Mark is the mastermind behind that. Mark gets on his riding lawnmower and he takes the map in with him and he creates it. And I mean, he does one heck of a job. The first year was pretty easy because there was no structures in there. Last year, I put structures in there, and I mean, he hit the mark every time.
Did he?
Yeah.
Now, when somebody, say like me, going into that maze, or like Cindy or Kason or anybody who is in the chat room right now, or Carrie Lynn, what if they just get really freaked out and they just can't go on anymore? Are there certain escapes, different
There's
places that?
there's no escapes. It's 4 acres. I mean, there's no way to put escapes. If you put escapes, when you cut corn when it's green, fine and dandy, stays nice, tight, close. If you cut a hole through a corn and it turns brown after that, the hole becomes gigantic. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that narrow little path that you put through it, that's only a foot wide, will be 3 foot wide by the end of the season. So
Really?
it's really hard to do that. I instruct my actors. We go through this all the time. If somebody needs help, they radio me. Do not help them. Do not break character. You're paid to come to see a show, and that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? I'm the person that's going to bring you out of there if you need to be brought out of there.
How? What is the address down there? This guy wants to check out the ley lines. He's going to look it up for me. What's the address?
Right off the top of my head, I cannot think of it.
Okay.
It's Creek Road in Brownsville, 157 Creek Road, Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
Okay. 157 Creek.
Yep. Creek Road.
Creek Road, Brownsville, PA. What's the zip on that?
I'm not really sure. I'm sorry about that.
We'll just go with that. Here it is, Case. And anybody else that's in the room too that would like to check, do a little bit of Googling. Here it is.
It's very eerie down there. We are where the farm sits. It kind of sits down inside a valley. Phone reception's terrible down there. There's just a list of things that happens at that farm, whether it's being down in that valley or other things are bothering it. Okay. There's definitely very terrible phone service there, and I can see a tower from there, so it's kind of crazy.
Oh, okay. Just the name. He didn't catch it. All right, buddy. I'm getting to you. So what other interesting things happened down there, buddy? What other interesting stuff has happened on the farm?
I wish we need to have another show and bring a couple of these. I'd like to bring Ashley and Mark on with me. They have a lot more stories. Okay. I already retained so many of the stories.
Okay, but tonight's all about you and your haunted
I understand
stuff. So,
yeah.
I'm sure
as far as going into building it and how I build it, every year is different. I do not like to be the same. You will never see the same scene twice. Everything comes off the top of my head. I just think of it and create it. I don't even do drawings.
No,
I do no drawings. I've never done any drawings. I'm terrible at drawings. I'm terrible at writing things down. I just go with it.
Okay. Well, see, when I was younger, about 25, 26, I used to be with the Upper St. Clair JCs, and they used to hold a haunted house over there down there in Bridgeville.
Okay.
On the hill. And I ran it. I mean, literally ran it. So I know I can see the excitement that you have for doing it, because at one point in time in my life, I had that excitement too.
Yeah.
And it's, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just, building stuff and getting that. You have to pay actors, and you got to get insurance, and you got
it's a tremendous thing that happens. It may only be 15 nights a year, but it takes all year to make that 15 nights happen successfully.
Now on the haunted hayride that you guys having down there, do you have actors for that haunted hayride
Oh
at
yes,
night?
yes.
Really?
There's actors all the way through. There's several scenes. I'll speak of a couple scenes because they were actually there last year. Last year I built scenes on. I built a lot of my scenes where they were level with the hay wagon. I always thought, when people get on a hay wagon, they feel secure. No one can get to them. So they feel a lot more comfortable. They don't get scared as easy.
Right.
So I come up with the idea, hey, let's build these scenes on platforms. So when this hay wagon pulls up, they're level with them.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so it brings a whole nother factor to it. The actors are so important. I mean, you can have the most money in the world, you can invest all the money you want into your haunted attraction, but if you do not have the relationship with your actors, it's not going to happen. They are a huge part of it. Very, very big part of it. And I'm so grateful that through the years that I've, these kids that worked for me are now all adults, and they were actually out of the Halloween business completely. And once I got this going, they came right back. I have
Really?
people that call off very successful jobs to be there for me.
Oh my God. Now that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel McIntyre, what's up, brother? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Hope the family's doing okay. Um, yeah, how do you go by getting actors? Do you put something out on an ad?
What do we do? We do a last year we did a casting call, and what I did was did a thing in the summertime, invited people down to the farm. I had a cookout for all these people, and we had them sign up, see how they acted, ran them through a couple paces. I have a couple of my actors that worked with me for all these years. Actually now they have titles. One actually runs the maze. They're both sisters, and then the sister runs the hayride, and then the sister's husband that runs the hayride, he also is the actor manager. His name's Lance. He's phenomenal. um he's going to put these kids through your paces, so either they make it through him or they're not going to be there.
Okay, so do you actually sit down and interview the kids or the people that you
um
have
yes, we
working for
actually
you?
sit down, we'll interview, have a face to face, see how you react. I know people are shy. I'm camera shy too. But we once I try to tell everybody, once you put a mask on, no one knows who you are, so you get to be the most free you ever been in your life,
Right, right.
and you get to enjoy it. And we've had some kids that showed up there last year that, very backwards. That's just this day and age now. Everything's, over the internet, everything's, it's not face to face no more, you know. They did extremely well, once we got them maked up, and we were blown away, how some of these kids acted, and it was
Hmm.
very, very good.
My friend Carrie Lynn, she said her youngest son did some of his volunteer high school hours by being an actor for a haunted rail museum. He loved it. That's cool. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Carrie.
Yeah, I try to tell everybody. I try to get everybody in it. You ran one before. If you can get people one time to act for you, most people fall in love with it.
Yeah, they
They
do. Yeah,
loved
they
it.
do.
They
Yeah, they
just love
do.
it. It's like an addiction. It's like tattoos. I mean, it's just a great addiction. It's an adrenaline rush. When you're on the other side of scaring somebody, it's a
Oh
fantastic
yeah,
thing.
absolutely. I could tell you a story. I when I worked in the haunted house, but it was funny. I was playing Dracula, laying in the coffin, right? And
Yeah.
I had two female vampires. I'm laying in the coffin, right? And the way the lighting was on me, it really looked like I was dead, right?
Right.
So you could hear this dude walking down the hall, trying to be big and bad and protecting his girlfriend and stuff like that. And he came up to the coffin like being an ass that he was, and he said, "You're not real." And I just opened up my eyes, and that boy peed his pants that night.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
serious. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always the one that brag walking in. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you can spot them from a mile away.
Yes, you can. Hi,
You know.
Robin. My friend Robin Keller says a very interesting show, and she said she might have to check it out. You
Thank
know.
you.
So, but to me, I think what you are doing is like totally awesome.
Thank you.
Kind of like giving back to the community down there.
Oh
Because
yes, we are
Bronzeville,
we are so that is our motive. That is the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's for the younger generation. It gives them a place to come and hang out and be safe and not have to worry.
mhm.
We need that more in this life. We need that. We definitely do.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not too, it's not a good life.
No.
It's so funny, Sean. That's my friend Cindy. And a lot of the people that are here in the chat room are from Pittsburgh,
Okay.
around or all around. Some
Hey,
are.
tell them they'll have to
And
come check out Bloodfest
no,
July 13th.
we're going to have to do that.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I have vendors coming in. I have a place called, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Coffin Coffee. This
yeah,
guy.
yeah, I've heard about it. I hear they got
Okay.
good coffee. I hear they
Yeah,
got
and
good coffee.
he pulls his trailer around with a hearse.
Ah, sweet.
So we
That
got
is
that
sweet.
coming. We got some local artists coming and setting up booths. We're letting everybody do this for free. Everybody's getting to set up for free. This is to help the community and help us too. You know what I mean? It's about everybody.
Because I know Bronzeville's like not too not extravagant to live in. You know what I
No,
mean? No,
not
it
at
is
all.
not. It's
No,
not. In fact,
there's nothing for this younger generation to do around here.
no, because I've done a couple investigations down there in Bronzeville, and
Okay.
I was like, wow, crazy. Isn't Bronzeville? They got the railroad system going on down there.
Yeah. Yep.
So I know Carnegie was down. Andrew Carnegie and his stuff in his the trains, the rails were going through there. So if you look at it, right, Carnegie was down there, and like the Carnegie libraries, the Carnegie libraries are so damn haunted around here. And the
Right.
one down in the most haunted Carnegie library, everyone's saying it's over in Homestead, but it isn't. It's the one down in Bronzeville, man. Honest to
Oh
God.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you talk about a haunted joint. That's haunted. Uh, Cindy says we should all meet up and go, Sean Kelly and Laura Christine. Yes, we could. That would be a good idea. And Kaysen says, yeah, Sean lying inside a coffin wearing Dracula's garb. Yeah, it was something. The teeth kind of hurt. I had to go out and buy my own teeth for that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But
The things you do to scare people.
well, but just looking at my old face here now, starting to look like Frosty the Snowman. That
Yeah,
burrow eye.
I mean, if I know if I'm ever going to do a Christmas theme, I'm definitely getting you a Santa Claus.
Now, okay, so you were saying back to the paranormal part of the farm. Um, were there any people that have gone through the maze as customers experience any type of paranormal activity that happened in there?
We have people say that they seen people that they're like, hey, you had an actor here, and I'm like, nah, we didn't. There
Okay.
was definitely no actor there. They would say there's more actors than what there was. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And so do
I
they?
don't know I don't know what freaks them out the most. I mean, as soon as they walk in that cornfield, different people are accepted to different things, and when they walk out, it just blows my mind. It really does. I mean, it's one thing for children to walk out, but to have adults walk out and freak out and say, we're done. We're going home. You know what I mean? Not ask for their money back. No, nothing. We're done. You know what I mean? It was just, that's definitely a different experience.
What? It's just the fun. I'm just really, really interested. Now, everybody, I need to tell you that Roy did give me a call and he said he would like to have a paranormal group down there. Um, Kaysen says, next time you do the crazy Santa, Sean, I will do the crazy one. Carrie Lynn says it takes 6 hours for her to get there. Come on down, Carrie Lynn. A lot of good hotels down around here.
That's
But
right.
so Roy told me that he was looking for a paranormal group to go down there. And as everybody knows, that I retired PPS. But what I came up with the idea, and I'm going to throw it by you, Roy, is since it's a 4 acre, or how many acres on that farm?
Oh, the acres on the farm, it's over The main farm, I'd say it's probably close to 75 acres.
Okay, so what I want to plan on doing, and if there's anybody out there that is listening to the show or in the chat room, if you got a paranormal group of some sort, I want to get like 4 or 5 different paranormal groups down there for a one night
Yeah.
investigation.
Heck yeah, man.
You
Let's do
know,
it.
so I mean, so if you guys are interested, please send me a message in Facebook to the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page. And I mean, if you got a group, if you know any groups that want to go, I know a couple I'm going to ask. Please get in touch with me so I can set this up. I was talking to Roy earlier, and I want to set this investigation in March because people know to go out in the field in February, you're freezing, it's raining, it's cold, and it's muddy, and all you do they have animals on there?
They have a few, but not too many.
All right, because I'll tell you what scared the crap out of me, a donkey.
They have a couple donkeys.
Oh God, they scare the crap out of me. They seem so calm, cool, and collective, but boy, I tell you what, they scream and yell, and they make the scariest
Oh
noise.
yeah.
Honest to
Yeah, you
God,
can hear a
it's
donkey from a
incredible.
long distance.
Yes, but
But
is
yeah, I
there?
mean,
Good.
we have the field to set up in. We can take a hayride, and I can drop you off through the hayride routes. The hayride snakes around the farm down into a valley, back up into other fields. So yeah, there's definitely lots of room where we could spread everybody out to do their thing.
Yeah, and I think that would be a great because my last week's show I had it on paranormal unity. Okay, where groups um, work together. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And I think this would be a very good thing to do to get 4 or 5 groups to work together. You know, their group take that part of the field, that other part of the field. But this question just popped into my head. All right. Now, since it's a big farm, all right, and I'm sure there's a lot of crazy people down there around that area, do you have any type of protection for you guys, for the people who work on the farm? Do you know what I mean? Do you have like people that go on the outside of the farm and protect?
I'm the protector. I am the one that watches over everybody.
You're the one that covers 4 acres of corn.
Yes, sir. I covered 4 acres of cornfield and the hayride and everything. I nonstop move all night.
That's insane, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean,
Insane.
that's how I did the other haunted attraction I worked at. We did that for like 15 years before they brought into security. I was always just the guy, and sometimes if you get the wrong people in there, they cause more trouble than good. I've seen it with the other haunted attraction. They got security guys get in there, and some people like to wear a badge and think they're Superman. And it's just on how you talk to people. You gotta talk right. You can't ingress things. You got to try to degress things.
Leah Elizabeth Myers says it would be awesome to be involved with an investigation. Yeah, come on down, Leah. Even if you don't belong to a group and you want to come along, please come down. And for people who really want to kind of like start being involved in the paranormal field, you know, come on down because this would be the best place to go to.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know,
set up some bonfires, and it'll definitely be a nice time on the farm.
and Ashley Greger says,
That's
anytime we
that's
need,
Ashley. That's the one that
yeah.
actually sees a lot of the stuff.
Well, Ashley, would you like to come on the show later on down the road? I would really like to have you on there. Anytime we need anything, we just call Roy. And Kason said a medium would be great too. And that's true. Have the Duda brothers or you have a medium come in? Well, the medium would be Ashley, right? No, and that's
Yeah.
Ashley said sure, should be more than happy to come on the show. That would be awesome. But I'm sure case and honest to God, there's a lot of, each paranormal group has at least one or two mediums in their group. So yeah, there would be mediums down there. But I can't stress this enough. If you want to come down and do the investigation, it's going to be sometime in March. Please come on down and enjoy. Have a big cookout. Ashley says, I'd love to come help with the investigation. There's an open door, open invitation to everybody. That would be really great to hear.
Yes.
I would really
Well, we
enjoy
feel the same way you do. With me just starting this 2 years ago, this year we actually invited all the haunted attractions around us, which there is a lot, to come and see our production. I don't feel like there's competition. Everybody's different. Everybody gives their different interpretation to everything. So we're just open arms with everybody. We don't want to push back on anybody. We're not trying to take anybody's deal or fame or whatever. We just want to make our place, and we want to have it with everybody else too.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, in the paranormal field, there is some there's a lot of not so much paranormal unity. Each one has a different ego. Not an ego, but I'm saying. And I'm praying and hoping that this would make the opportunity for it to happen to let the paranormals grow. Leah says, let me know, Roy, and I'll come. Roy is one of the best around here to work for when it comes to haunts. He's like the dad of the haunt. You got yourself a new title there, brother.
Oh, I know, man. I've never liked titles. With that other haunted house that I built, I was always in the background. My name was never on anything. I just never worried about that. I get excited when I stand in the background and watch people get scared. That's my excitement.
Is that your excitement?
Have
you ever had any, not fatalities, but have you ever have customers that walk through your haunted attractions that got hurt? And,
never got hurt. Just most of the time it's just people. They'll slip and fall, maybe get a little muddy, take it a little bit too far. Problem is that everybody just a lot of people try to act like bullies. And these kids that do these haunted attractions. Some of them are younger, and they want to smack them or hit them or. It's so crazy. For the last 20 years, me just standing, I always stand back. No one ever knows who I am, even when I'm there. I'm just standing back, and you hear people talking line, oh, I'm going to beat this person up. They touched me and this and that. And I try to tell my actors all the time, let it go. They're paying for this, Right. If they want to pay to have a bad experience, go for it. My thing is either scare them or gross them out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here to do.
Now, I know when I worked at the haunted houses over in Bridgeville, and we overheard somebody talking like that in line, we would go and tell the actors to watch out for this person.
Oh yeah. We're all mic'd up. Everybody has a radio. I know what things. It's so funny. The first year we were opened, we had somebody come through from another haunted attraction that tried to scalp some of my actors, like tried to get them to work for them. Before then, people even made it out of the maze. I was waiting at the end of the maze and said, "Hey, I heard what you were doing." "Oh no," I said, "Listen, you know what I mean? I hear everything. We are all mic'd up. We are all in communication constantly. From the guy that drives the hay wagon to the guy that's standing at the end of the line collecting tickets. We're all mic'd up.
Now, let me ask you this. You said that you have a bar on the farm, correct?
The bar was actually in the cornfield. Yeah. I mean, it was just a bar that I built. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's no drinking there or nothing like that, right?
No. Actually, though, in July for Bloodfest, we are actually bringing in a local fire company that's going to set up and sell their beverages there. They actually have permits to be able to sell alcohol. So we teamed up with, we wanted a local fire company to do that with us,
That's cool. I have a really good feeling, Roy, that what you're doing for the Dudas in Bronzeville, man, is just going to take off and explode. It's going to make life really, really
Thank you.
I just got a really good feeling about this.
That's what we're trying for. You know what I mean? You know, I appreciate what the Dudas did for me. I'm helping them just as much as they're helping me. That's for sure. I mean, they didn't know me out of the blue, and they took with me. They just opened up their whole farm to me. You know what I mean? It was just right off the bat. Whatever you need, Roy, here it is. You know, and that's what made it all happen. You know, you know, if anybody has pushback with you, it's just harder and harder to make things happen. Right. If you could just one phone call and boom, it's happening. It's happening. And Mark and Andrew, they are the people. I mean, you got anybody around this area needs to support that farm for their vegetables. I mean, like I said, these are very, very good people.
It really sounds like, and in fact, you know, maybe down the road we'll probably have them come on the show. You know.
Oh yes, definitely.
And just talk about their farm, because also besides Tuesday night, I have a Sunday night show.
Okay.
And my Sunday night shows are laid back shows. You know what I mean? They're laid back.
Yeah.
And but the hardcore, you know, topics that we do come on Tuesday night, but the laid back shows are.
Yeah, it would just be good to talk about the local farm for sure. You know what I mean? What they go through, everyday struggles. I mean, like I said, it's unbelievable.
Got to give them some love and some.
Yes,
you know,
they're the ones that feed us. You know what I mean? Without them, we're gonna starve.
Now I need to tell you, Roy, that this show tonight is on Roku television.
Oh, okay.
And you are all over the world.
Oh wow! I'm glad you told me towards the end here.
Yeah, you know, I didn't want to scare you, but
right, I got you.
In China, Australia, New Zealand, England, listening to the show tonight. Some people.
Awesome.
So I didn't want to tell you to scare you, but how can people? Again, thank you, Roy, for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you.
I really, truly appreciate it. And how can people get a hold of you?
Easiest way, go to dudashauntedfarm.com. I mean, Dudas Haunted Farm on Facebook. That's it goes right to me. Anybody ever wants to send me a message, whether they want to work for me, want to know the dates, what's going on, no problem. I'm glad to talk to anybody.
Okay, I'm typing that right now into the chat. Dudas Haunted Farms.
Facebook. Dudas Haunted Farm.
Oh, farm? Okay.
Yeah.
FACEBOOK. And let me go this way. Take the S out of that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting it into the chat room here. Okay, now my friend Kaysen says if it's legal over there, opening a cannabis bar would be great. Because weed is
that's another subject.
Yeah, it is. It's funny what he said here. If it's legal over there, opening a cannabis bar would be great. Because weed is a good medium for contacting the other side. That's funny, dude. But
tell them that's definitely weed is definitely the miracle. I don't even want to call it a drug because it's just not. You know what I mean? But it's the miracle plant, that's for sure.
But Roy, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. We'll have you back next month. We'll keep in contact. And again, thank you for coming on and sharing your experience and stuff with you.
Okay? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it,
brother. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. So, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. It was great. I mean, you know, like I really, truly believe that everything happens for a reason. You know, there's no such thing as coincidences. This Sunday coming up for the show, I don't know what the topic's going to be, but when Sunday comes, it comes. But I know Tuesday night, next Tuesday, I'm going to have my friend Michael Anthony come on again, and we're going to, you know, talk some pretty interesting things. And so I'm looking forward to that too. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi for having me, and you know, do the show on. I want to again thank Carnation, and I want to thank everybody here who was in the chat room and everybody listening tonight. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you don't have no parents, if you don't have no children, find a friend to give them a hug, because those three words, I love you, go a long way. And everybody, good night. Have a good night. And I will see you next Sunday.